Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Wil. So last week we talked about how to get your first 100 customers. So we're going to continue on this theme of entrepreneurship. So now you have your first 100 customers. Now what? Well, we're going to chat about how to use your customer feedback to help script some of your next moves in scaling and growing your business. But before we do, please be sure to share, subscribe, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. We are on all of them. I want to give a shout out to nickmenard.com and the 1% Push, as well as his Amazon best-selling book, Mindset is My Degree. Thank you, Nick Menard.
You're welcome, hello winners. Hello, Will.
Here we go. Monday, fun day.
There we go. We love Mondays when we have fun in life, right?
That's right. It's all about the mindset. So let's do a little mindset fuel. Last week, we talked about how to get your first 100 customers. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about getting the idea and having the courage to take it out and try and get started. Then we gave you 6 critical steps last week on how to get your first 100 customers. Now you have your first 100 customers. How do you use those customers to help grow and scale your business? Any high-level thoughts on this?
No, I mean, what better? Who can better tell you about your product and your service than your customers? So you may have a clear idea about the fact that your product or your service are the best, but the customer are the one who are gonna tell you if it's the best. And it's nothing bad about feedback, even if you need to tweak things. Of course, if it's a product, it may be more tricky because maybe the production things needs to be redone and stuff. But if you're in service, this is even more important because you can tweak things about your service a lot faster than you can with product. So again, it doesn't mean product, you don't need the feedback of the customer, but the service definitely like use and abuse it because they are the one who buying it. So if they tell you, listen, nobody feels any kind of way when you tell someone how you feel and you see that they adapt it in relationships, in your personal life, a friendship, and anything like that. So take whatever feedback you get and tweak it. People love to see people being coachable or adaptive. So please take it as a positive, even if it's a little bit harsh. Some people delivery may be a little bit direct. Me. So you always make sure to be open-minded about feedback because at the end of the day, if your services are better for your clients, you will sell more.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think one of the keys to accepting feedback from a high level will be approach it like a stoic. And what I mean by that is don't take it as a personal attack on your identity, yourself. Take it as feedback on a product or service. If you depersonalize it, you can approach it more rationally and then decide what elements of it have merit and which ones do not. All right. So there you go. Really enjoy it. And I think you touched on a lot of good things there, but I think for people thinking about, I just will build upon one point. Sometimes clients have some ideas, but they're outside maybe the scope of your business. And so sometimes you have to think about that. So like say, for example, if I was creating a little kiosk shop on the beach that sold hot dogs. AC, I know. That sold hot dogs and tater tots, right? And then somebody said, it would be great. Why don't you have Chinese food as well? Well, I could, but now you got brand dilution and it may not exactly work. So sometimes it's a good idea. Now, what you could do is maybe get a little kiosk next door to it and then open up the Chinese part. And then you got like 2 different things. But so sometimes they're good intention ideas, but they don't relate to your brand strategy. But regardless, depersonalize it. There could be a nugget there or some other opportunity related to it.
I love it because it made me think directly as something. Sometimes you really can make a tweak or add something to your arch. For some people know that I was selling batteries, lithium batteries. All right. So when you sell lithium batteries, I was focusing in golf cart. And then at some point, people start asking me, are you doing it for tractor pulling, are you doing for marine batteries, like which is the same as tractor pulling and marine? It's the same battery.
Mhm.
And I start getting more and more of those requests. Well, a phone call to my manufacturer. I said, hey, are you doing marine lithium batteries? Of course we do. Okay, send me all the information, the specs. They send everything. Okay, and then we negotiate pricing and stuff. Okay, send me a batch. And then boom, no, I can get back to my customers and say, hey, by the way, we do that now.
Mhm.
So again, customer are the best people to tell you what works, what
Mhm.
needs adaptation, what needs tweaks, and maybe they come up with your next business venture or the next arc to your whatever it says in English. But it's
I
good.
love that transition because that's today's episode that we're going to talk about how to use the customer feedback to make that
Oh,
happen.
really?
I know,
That's
isn't it so good?
fantastic.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. No, all right. I love it. All right. So, you ready for our favorite segment?
Quotes and quips.
You know, there was a stretch where we really were
Now we
discombobulated
got
on
it
that, but
down.
now we're back to in sync. I love it. I love it. All right. The first one is from Jason Fried or Freed. I guess it depends. Is it a Friday night or a Monday morning how you pronounce his last name? But from Base Camp, sorry. Inside voice comes outside sometimes. And his quote is
Dark side.
yeah. One person's dark side, another person's light side. So
There you go.
startups don't starve, they drown. Usually in too many features, too much feedback, not enough focus. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it multi times. You need to have a plan, all right? And excitement is great. You need to have excitement because clients and customers and prospects will feel the excitement because you believe in what you're selling. You believe it's going to be something big. It's going to be the next $1 billion idea, maybe. But if you don't have a clear focus about each steps, you will burn steps that are so important, or you will come up unprepared. And there is nothing worse when you come up with a business to be unprepared. I was unprepared in my first couple of business, and it's frustrating because you have that great idea and you want to start, but you need to be focusing on the steps,
Mhm.
because if you miss a step, it will put you back so much longer than if you actually apply those steps. So yes, have the excitement, but make sure to have like a way to handle each step and talk to a mentor. Have someone by your side that you trust that has been successful in something similar as you do or in business in general, who can guide you, make them review your plan and see if it's something that it's actually plausible or is it just you are dreaming and wide awake. And so don't be afraid to ask feedback. And again, don't be negative if someone is hurting your feelings because it's your baby. When we always say that,
Yeah.
when you have your business, it's your baby, and you're not gonna hurt it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful baby. And so make sure to have an open mind with that, and then you have a lot more chance of success or a lot more chance of faster success than if you just come up bomb like a bomb and not thinking about each step. That's the way I interpret this one.
Totally agree. You know, and some winners may be thinking, hey, you know, you're saying get feedback from customers, let that open up the window of additional opportunities to scale the growth in your business. But then here's a quote where it says, you know, too much feedback. The way I take that part of the quote of too much feedback, it's too much feedback if you allow it to paralyze yourself in terms of growing and scaling your business, or you allow it to distract yourself too far outside the realm of your core value proposition. You know, there's a saying that I like to use quite a bit, and it's you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. So stay the course and, you know, get the feedback. And maybe it's a good idea, but just not right now to implement. You know, make sure you got your core fundamentals solid on that.
It's so funny because I was just waiting for you to finish to tell that you cannot please 100% of the people and you shouldn't please 100% of the people. It's impossible. You have no business on earth who make everybody on the same page. So make sure the feedback is always good. But again, the feedback coming from real customers who wants to the service or the product to be improved.
Mhm.
If you have a feedback that is a loose feedback, say thank you and move on.
Mhm.
But always make sure to listen to it because you never know what can be behind. But like you mentioned perfectly, you cannot and you should not please everybody because that's going to derail you even more.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now our quip. We had a couple of really good ones to choose. I almost want to do a bonus, but we'll stay consistent because that's what
You
we
can
do.
do a
We
bonus.
stay consistent. No, we stay consistent. This one comes from a startup proverb. So I don't know. I didn't see the the fairy tale book of proverbs on startups, but apparently there's a startup proverb. Gotta love ChatGPT. All right. So this one is, if one person tells you you're a horse, they're crazy. If 5 people tell you you're a horse, buy a saddle.
Hey, the art of feedback. You know, like I hate to say that, but if someone comes up by telling you it's a stupid idea and you believe in it, expands to more people to see, okay, what people think. And maybe that's not a stupid, I mean, again, you know the saying, like if everybody tell you your idea is crazy, you're probably out of something. You probably have something. But it's very important to have a clear understanding as, is this gonna speak to people, not only me? And the vision is important here. Because if your vision is too narrow, you will probably make people wonder why, why is this? And we hear that all the time. I don't know if, if you guys are listening or watching Shark Tank, but when you watch Shark Tank, how many times did I just said, why? Why? And then Mr. Wonderful, I love him, the way that he's handling stuff. I said, take it and put it in the trash, burn this, is bad idea. And then a few times when someone else, like Mark Cuban, tell me your sale. Well, 4.2 million sale. And you see Mr. Wonderful come up, I can say, okay, now I'm interested in your garbage. Because money, customer don't lie. Now, we'll see if it's your customer acquisition price. Because maybe your customer acquisition price is higher than the what you make in each product. So that's another story. But I remember a few occasions during the last couple of seasons when literally people were like, what? Does people buy that? Do people actually buy this? But when the numbers show that they do, they do.
Yeah.
And so, and then again, you can think about maybe a better packaging can do that. Or maybe, you can just explode it by doing a reel on TikTok, that's a new thing. But if you have a vision and you believe in what you do and you have enough proof from customers, because we passed the 100 now, we're the next day with next week. So it's very important that you are staying focused in your vision.
Oh yeah, 100%. And again, if you're getting, like this quip is talking about, a lot of people saying the same thing, it's the old adage, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's probably something to it and worth investigating. So maybe they're saying you're too expensive, or you're not charging enough, or maybe you're saying that this was good, but this would make it a little bit better. Listen to it. There's probably some merit there if you're hearing it from multiple people on that one. All right. So now we can dive into a little bit more on our theme here. And so I guess when we're thinking about in your mind, other different ways in which we can scale. So we made the first 100 sales. How do we use the customer feedback to grow? What are some ways that you try to elicit that feedback from customers? Some examples.
Yeah. So again, I gathered all the feedback. I usually talk to a couple of people that I trust and, like around me. And then I know when I started this travel agency, we were talking a lot about different idea. And that's how you joined that eventually. Because at first it's like, why doing this? And then seeing the results. And it's like, oh my God, there's up to something. But then new ideas are coming. So using the feedback can be for multi reasons. Improve the product or the service. We talked about it. It can be, what else can I do in order to improve to reduce the customer acquisition? All right. So again, it can be analyzing where my customer come from, and based on who are actually giving you the feedback. Meaning, let's take the 2 for the win example. All right. So we know who talk back to us, like talk to us about it. We receive a lot of time, like messages and things like that about people loving something, but also saying some error, something. And thank you. If you hear something you don't like, please share, because that's the only way we can improve. But all right, we receive a lot of, people replying because they listen to us, like on on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Those are the two main one. But we have very little on YouTube. So it means that people are listening a lot more than they're watching, and thank God, because when we look at the number of people watching, it's very, very little. And it's surprising because it's where you spend the most time actually with a production company.
Yeah.
It's about the visual. But we know that people tend to listen to us a lot more than they tend to watch us. So there's two ways to analyze those feedback. That's the way I see it. Or you put more energy in the quality of the sound, the quality of the content, and when are we posting it? So it's always in the morning. People listen while driving to the office maybe, or something like that. Or we continue to keep the same quality, but we spend more time or improving even more the SEO or the quality of the videos or things like, even though our videos, I mean, it's biased, but the videos are pretty damn great. When I look at different videos from different, podcast, I think we are doing pretty damn good. But okay, it's probably a SEO problem and things like that because it's not our business. So we have different way to analyze the why, and it's based on feedback. So that's the way that I look at it when it's the feedback. It can be different ways, and I'm sure there is others that I'm not thinking it right away.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and I think and there's a lot of different forums in which you can get the feedback. Like, again, you can see comments on social media when they post that. Like you're saying, customers reaching out and giving you direct feedback. Sometimes it's the questions they're asking. Maybe you're having a one-on-one conversation with them. You're following up. You talked about that in the last episode, and you've mentioned it in other episodes as well. Whenever someone comes back from vacation, you always follow up the next day, and you have a system with it. It's a regular. It happens like clockwork, and you can get feedback that way. There's other things you can test, is probing questions and say, hey, listen, but really appreciate that you bought this product or service. I'm actually thinking about branching out and doing something like this. So you could even brainstorm with some of your better clients like that. Or maybe if it's a product, you send them a sample. Like, that's how these influencers make their money. They just get all these different product samples and give a review. And why not do that with your existing marketing, your client base? Like, the client acquisition is one of the more expensive things you'll have to do within a startup. If you, in terms of time, if you convert time to acquisition. So you want to keep your clients, but that also is your built-in market that you're starting to do. Like, even you talked about it, like with some of the different things. You had some people inquire about very inexpensive trips, $300-400. And at first you were like, do I really spend my time to do that? And you thought about the lifetime value of the customer, and you thought about the network. And so you did it. And then you got business from it on that. So again, it's just thinking about it in terms of, if you're going to approach your client base as a transactional type of experience, you are going to have to work very, very hard and very, very long to build your business. If you view your client base as a holistic lifetime value, what they can offer, not only to revenue stream to you, but also for market data, research data. You don't have to hire a consultancy. If you got thousands of customers, you can sample it with them, save yourself the consultant fee, right? Sorry, consultants, but just being real. So, have a broader perspective, elicit the feedback, test ideas, tweak some things, and who knows, you could open up amplify the revenue stream or create a whole new revenue stream within that client base you already have secured.
Love it. No, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Awesome. So, any other things that you have, or maybe stories to share where, especially early on in any of your businesses, really, where feedback played a role? Maybe it was a unique way you reached out to them, or maybe it was just a unique experience that opened up your mind, like you mentioned earlier about the batteries and how you were thinking one way and it broadened your aperture. But anything else like that to share with them?
I wanted to I'm not gonna answer your question actually
Okay.
directly, but I'm thinking about something else.
Okay.
Because a lot of time when I talk to entrepreneur and business owner, they mention that I have difficulties getting feedback. Like, people don't give me enough feedback. Like they just buy, and then I try to send an email, a text message, or anything like that, and I don't get anything back. So what I experience definitely in the travel world, the most feedback I get are when I advertise on social media me as a person traveling. So try to personalize your marketing, try to personalize the way that people find you, because people will relate to you a lot faster than relate to a in travel world. It's so easy. We see so many times like a beautiful like video or reel about someone coming out of the pool, beautiful woman coming out of the pool in Thailand. Then you have the everything is blue lagoon and everything like that, the music and everything. It's great, but everybody can post that.
Mhm.
All right. If you post, it's a lot less glamorous. It was me coming out of the pool. I'm kidding. So, but if you post me, showing where I'm at and showing the fact that, okay, look, I'm on this island now, I'm on this ship now, I'm in this country now, and explaining a little bit what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing, people can relate a lot more because that lady, that's a model in the other side of the world. Who knows? It's maybe AI, but if they can relate to someone, oh my God, he's doing it or she's doing it, I can do it as well. And I realize that when I have my own travel and my own posts about my own, experiences, the feedback is a lot more, lot higher. The sales are going through the roof, and then people tend to relate with me a lot better, and so they contact me. They feel a lot more loose about sending me a text or calling me, hey Nick, and because I'm real. It's not a robot, and that's also something I want to say based on AI. And we talked about it when we had the AI episode. It's very true. AI is an accelerator of everything, but it will never, maybe not in my existence, replace what the human can do. And so the human interaction is still very important. So when you are selling product, instead of hiring someone to do all the marketing, do it yourself. The quality may be lower, but the feedback will be higher, and the change that people can actually relate will be a lot higher. So sometimes saving money and doing things yourself, maybe not in the most professional like production, that will bring you a lot more because people know, oh, that's the person.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I wanted to add as well. If you struggle with feedback, try to tweak the way you advertise, and you will see that when the people buy from you, they will be a lot more open to check and get back to you about the experiences.
No, I love that. I think that's a great idea, and I think you did answer my question, so that was good because that was like a unique way to get the feedback. You personalized it. You made it more about your experiences during your trips versus some polished, graphics.
It's just not a specific story about because it's just in general. It's maybe it is with travel more specifically, but I stick with it. I think it works, and I think it's so easy to do, and it's free to do when it's on social media.
Yeah, and it, again, the lifetime value of the customer, so important. So make them feel involved. How do you create and convert them into raving fans of your product and service? Ask their opinion, and like you said earlier, nothing is more flattering for people than when they give you advice and feedback and they see you take it and implement it,
Absolutely. And then my customer acquisition is not in dollar, it's in time, which is also like money. Time is money.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to help you as well a lot. If you have client, definitely in the travel world, you have like people asking questions, jumping on calls, pinging you, texting you, and whatever it is. Spend your time wisely. Don't underestimate someone who has maybe a low budget, because maybe that person will have a high budget next time, or know people with high budget. But don't spend 2 hours talking about a carnival basic interior room cruise. Know the value of what you're offering. So I would like to spend more time with building an itinerary of 4 different countries in Europe for 6 people than to do like a low level, like a basic entry level cruise for 2 people out of Miami. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's important also when you are in business, that you value your time, because maybe you don't spend any money because it's free marketing in the beginning, but time is money. And I see some people spending so much time with people that are just taking their energy with never buying anything, because they're shopping around, but they want to know what silverware they're gonna have at the on the dining. It's as bad as that. It happens that someone asks that question. So don't fall into the trap or you more are answering everybody's question, who more are going to sell. That's not usually the case. People who know what they want, they usually ask a couple of questions about what's important to them, and then they move on to the booking.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, there you have it, folks. Any last thoughts about using client feedback to scale your business from your first 100 sales to now something larger?
Don't take, like you said in the beginning, Will, don't take anything personally.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone attacking you personally is going to be aware, and if it's the case, just smile, nod, and move on, because it's not worth your energy. And I was guilty on that sometimes, but no, I'm just, I don't think about those people anymore.
Yeah, that's good. Great advice. So there you have it. So 2 weeks ago, you have the idea. You've been thinking about this and rolling around in your mind. Last week, we gave you 6 steps on how to get your first 100 customers. This week, how to leverage those 100 customers to grow and scale your business. You're running out of excuses, winners. You need to get additional revenue streams here if you wish, and here's a roadmap that you can follow. And we appreciate you listening to us. And please share your comments and ideas. You think there's some steps we missed or some things we should build upon and add? Let us know. Give us a shout out at 2forthewin podcast at gmail.com or comment on our social media, and we'll be sure to include it. That will now wrap up today's episode of Monday Mindset. Again, thank you for listening. Please share, subscribe, and follow 2 for the Win. We're on all the major platforms, and shout out again to nickmenard.com, the 1% push, and his best-selling Amazon book, Mindset is My Degree. That'll do it, winners. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye, winners.